It's past the hour, so we'll start immediately. Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Izobe Spiff. Welcome to the OCTOPUS series. Today, our special guest is KEMI ADELEKE. She's the boss of KFA Events Limited. That's a company in Lagos. They're an event center and a top rental company. I'll give you a brief profile on KEMI, as she can tell us the rest as we go along. KEMI is the Managing Director of KFA Events Limited, parent company of KFA Event Center, Decorations and Party Rentals. KFA is a family-owned business of over 25 years of existence and currently in the second generation. KEMI joined the company 14 years ago. KEMI is a meticulous designer with a creative mind that is extremely passionate about transforming ordinary spaces into exceptional ones. KEMI has a bachelor's degree in geography and planning from the University of Jos, Plateau State, Nigeria, a master's degree in information systems from the Eastern University, Boston in USA, a certificate in event management at the George Washington University, Washington, DC. KEMI is a certified project manager, professional PMP from the Project Management Institute in the USA. KEMI has a certificate in entrepreneurial management, CEM, from the Pan-Atlantic University in Lagos, Nigeria. She is a member of the national and international professional bodies, notably American Rental Association, Project Management Institute, ILEA, International Live Event Association, APOM, which is the Association of Professional Party Organizers and Event Managers of Nigeria, the Rentals Professional Society of Nigeria, of which she is the current president. She has mentored a lot of upcoming entrepreneurs about running their businesses. Fun facts about KEMI include spa therapy, shopping, being lost in the fragrance world. KEMI loves to read books and has a strong passion for motivational quotes. KEMI is married with 2 children. Welcome, 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 KEMI. Glad to have you.
Thanks for having me.
Yes,
how are you today?
I'm good, I'm good. We're slowly coming back to life in the events industry. And as part of staying positive and utilizing our time, our downtime positively, we have, we birthed the OCTOPUS series, which is an online and offline learning academy birthed by Trebian Events. So having you today, we want you to shed more light on your experiences during this pandemic, how it has affected your business, and what you did with your downtime, and what you're doing coming out, stay relevant, and ensuring that you're still visible and your business stays relevant.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Like you said, thanks for having me. We were hit by the pandemic. I think the last event we had must have been on the 21st of March, 2020. We were not, we didn't even know what was going on then. We were just asked by the government to shut down, of course, because of the virus, that we can't have events again. That weekend, coincidentally, I had 2 events at the venue. I think one on a Saturday and one on a Sunday. The one on a Saturday was still insisting that she wanted to have her event, but I told her we cannot go against the government regulation, that we'll do a refund to her. If she can get another venue to use, then that's fine. But the one for Sunday said that she would, she can have us hold on to our money. And it was for, I think, her son's 5th birthday party. I can't remember now, and that was fine. And that's how March turned to April, May, June, July, August. When August now, right? August 25th.
Yeah.
So we've been, well, let me just say the venue has just been, inside of the venue has just been idle, to no event, because you can't have event. A month into the lockdown, I wasn't really thinking of the effect on my business. I wasn't even thinking, okay, what's the way forward? I think I was just using the time, that 1 month period, to just rest, to just think, because I was supposed to embark on a huge project at my own facility in April. I was supposed to start rebuilding the venue, but then, of course, the the whole lockdown just changed everything. So I rested for like a month. And then the second month, I was like, Kemi, what's going on here? A little bit of down. I don't want to call it depression. I don't want to use that word, but I wasn't happy because I'm a very vibrant person. I love work. I love work. Anybody that knows me knows that I love work. It's either I'm in my house or in my office or shopping. I just work. I love to work, So second month, I was feeling very down that, okay, what next? And I couldn't even think. I couldn't think straight, like, what next? What next? What next? What can I do? What can I do? I mean, before the lockdown, I had a meeting with my team members. We're about 97 on my payroll, full time. And I had to just have a meeting with them that, I'm sorry, this is the state of the economy. This is what is going on. We don't have events. There's no way the company can afford to even pay you guys in full. So we started paying some people 50% salary, and then I think 3 months into it, I had another meeting, online meeting, and everyone to say, everybody is dismissed. I had to take that huge decision. It was very tough that everyone dismissed. And then I heard some people were sending messages to me, MD, no, we can't, there's no job, blah, blah, we can't leave this one, that will take our salary, that's, I can't ask them to, but I told them there's no event. I can't turn myself into events. And cut a long story short, that aspect has been sorted now because because events are coming back. We've started having events now. They're coming back in trickles like that. And we have about, let me say 40% of our staff strength coming back. But prior to now, second, third month, I started thinking, okay, what can we do with what you have? Because the thing is this, and when you're in a crisis, and crisis relates to both your personal and your business. I mean, it's either your personal or business. Personal is you, and then business is your life after yourself. When you're in a crisis, it's either you sleep in your crisis or you decide what you want to do in that crisis. So it's now left for you to take a decision that what can I do with what is in front of me? As a business owner, not as an employee, now as a business owner, your brain has to be thinking all the time, what can you do? I have fleet of vehicles. I have lots of trucks here. And I said to myself, I mean, in the past, if you had called to say, oh, KFA, can you rent your truck? I would say no, because the truth of the matter is we're always very busy with our own vehicles. So it never really occurred to me to even think of renting our trucks. And guess what? Channels TV called me. They said they wanted to come in to have the same discussion we're having here, the effect of the pandemic on my business. And they came in, of course, they were not happy. Everywhere was quiet. And then I told them that just days before they came in, that we had started advertising our trucks for deliveries. We just had to do that. Unfortunately, people were throwing horrible figures at us. I mean, if you want to move, my office is based in Lekki. For example, we're going to the mainland, the customer will tell you they want to pay 10 or 20,000, which doesn't even cover the cost of the diesel. There were some that understood what was going on and were able to tap into the market. I'm not sure I really want to do that henceforth, because once business starts fully now, it's not something that I want to go into. But we had to do that during the COVID period. We're renting out the trucks for selected people. We're renting out because I didn't advertise it for a long-term thing, really, because it's not my forte. Maintaining vehicles is a huge problem here in the country. Having even your own personal vehicle, I have about 20 vehicles in my fleet. So that's a lot, So I don't want it to be a situation whereby KFA will start renting trucks. Nah, it's not if I had a way for even my business, I would not even own one vehicle. But unfortunately, the environment we come from, we don't have companies that you can rely on to provide the logistics
fill those gaps
of my assets from my office to my client's location. And that's why we had to invest in all these vehicles. I didn't have, as a rental company, I don't have any business owning all these vehicles. But that's the situation we find ourselves. And to make the work easy for me, I had to get these vehicles. So like I said, I'm not sure this is what I want to do long term. So we had to start the logistics there. But like I said, it's on hold now. And then during the course of the pandemic as well, I started advertising on my WhatsApp. I had lots of people send me messages, okay, for you advertising? Yes, I am advertising. it was just residual income. When I say advertise on my WhatsApp, on average, we have about 300 to 500 people viewing my status on a daily basis. I mean,
okay.
And I'm like, why can't I use what I have to get what I want? You know, and I started advertising using my status, advertising people's businesses, and people will pay. You know, I did that for some time, and then there was a webinar that I was invited to by EDC, the Enterprise Development Center. They wanted me to also come and share. I was sharing a lot during this COVID period. Do you think? You know, I was just sharing. They were calling. Everybody wanted to know the effect of the pandemic on my business, and you know, because we were directly hit. The event industry was really hit. We're the backbone of events in the country. Well, we're coming out of it. We're coming out of it. I see the light at the end of the tunnel now. We're coming out of it, thank God. I mean, events are now created. They're smaller, you know, but smaller, people are, and you have to protect yourself before you go in for an event. You wear your face mask and all those safety precautions. So there was a webinar that I attended by EDC. And after the webinar, even during the webinar, they were like, okay, so what's the way forward? I told them about the delivery truck. You know, this must have been maybe 3 months into the pandemic, 2.5 to 3 months into it. And while after the webinar, I was washing my face, and then I was hearing Early Momo Market, and I'm like, Early Momo Farmers Market, but the farmers didn't sound well to my ears. So I was like, Early Momo Food Market, that sounds good. I went on Google to research if anyone has used the name before, Early Momo, and I didn't see anything. I didn't find anything. And then what was coming to my mind was, just have on this, my office is on the Lekki axis. And I'm like, we don't have any markets on this Lekki axis that people can actually go to shop. I was not like, I was actually beating myself that why didn't I even think of this all these years? I've been at this venue for over 13 years. And I never in my world thought of that. You know, when they say an aha moment, that was the moment for me. It was in my bathroom. I still remember it so well, washing my face. And I would say it's like maybe the Holy Spirit talking to me, you know. And you know what I did? My WhatsApp status is like my best friend, my unknown best friend, you know, unknown best friend. When I say unknown best friend, I just share. But I'm very deliberate about what I share on my status. I'm always sharing positive. The world is as wicked as it is right now. So all I share there is positive, and I share about my business. So I went on after doing the research on Google and I didn't find anything, I posted on my status, KFA Early Momo Market at the KFA Event Center, Lekki.
Yeah.
You won't believe it. It was actually the responses from people that actually propelled me to go ahead with the market. Everybody loved the idea. Everybody was like, wow, wow. I was like, really? I was shocked, like, excuse me, what did I But really, it was the people's perception. It was their, you know, the positivity I was getting from everyone. Everybody loved the idea. They were like, wow. Everybody keeps saying, wow, wow, wow. So we did the advert. I invited everybody, all my friends. I mean, the power of your contacts, honestly, I can't overemphasize the power of my contacts. I must have over like 8,000 or 9,000 contacts on my phone. You know, it's amazing. The first edition, we had it on the 6th of June. People came. It was so beautiful. People came.
Yes, we saw that.
They were selling. They were praying for me. And I'm like, all glory to the Almighty. You know, I couldn't believe it. There was a seller that actually discouraged me that first edition. And I said to myself, I'm not doing this again. I'm not doing this market again. I'm not doing it again. Excuse me, how much did you pay me? You paid me 10,000 naira to get a stand. I'm not doing it again. Because she said that they allowed a seller to fry. She came to sell akara. That they allowed a seller to fry akara under her tent, and they did not allow her. I'm like, God, am I going to be dealing with all these issues with sellers?
Well, all I know is professional. You deal with all kinds of people.
All I know is table and chair. But you know the interesting thing. We started this thing 2.5 to 3 months ago. I'm beginning to know about food. I'm beginning to know about food. I never knew about food before. I'm meeting people. We've had the first edition, like I said, was on the 6th of June. We had one in July 4th. We had one We had two actually in July. We had the Salah edition also, July 25th. That's the third one. And then we had one in August. That's the fourth edition. And then we're getting ready for the fifth one on the 5th of what's it called? Of September. It's usually supposed to be the first Saturday of every month. And guess what? There's a waiting list of over 80, 90 sellers for October. I can't believe it. Like, even when I say I'm not doing again, the people tell me the market is so funky now. You don't.
Let me cut in here. Let me cut in. What safety protocols have you put in place for the market, for the early morning market?
Fantastic. So when you come in, you're supposed to have your face mask. Without your face mask, we use bouncers. So without your face mask, you can't even gain access into the premises. And then they're supposed to check. They will check your temperature. You're supposed to wash your hands. We have sinks here. You're supposed to wash your hands and then make use of hand sanitizer. Of course, there are signs that you're not supposed to hug, but you know how Nigerians are, they still try to hug, and we take pictures and things like that. So, and then for every stand, every seller, you're not supposed to have more than 3 people underneath your canopy. Everybody that comes to, every buyer that comes to your stand, they're supposed to use your hand sanitizer. They're all expected to have a hand sanitizer on their table. So those are the safety measures that we put in place for all the markets we've had. And to God be the glory, nobody has come to meet me that they caught the virus at the market. Every time we've had the market, we've had on the average about 750 to 1,000 people, because we use counters to actually count the number of people that come into the premises. I'm actually a bit worried about the one in September, because we're doing their giveaways in September. So, people love giveaways,
Yeah, but you probably would have a crowd, and you have to start thinking about how to.
So we have to go back to the drawing board and ensure that
and think on how, that the safety precautions are locked down.
That's important, because without the masks, they will not even, the bouncers, I'm using one of the best security company in the country, and without that, they will not even allow you to come into the premises.
Yeah, which is good. So congratulations on the early Momo. When you face challenges, then you put your thinking cap on, then the ideas start to flow. Some people would rather sit it out and say, okay, when the pandemic is over, we'll go back to business. But some people don't understand that they may be indirectly killing their own businesses by having that kind of defeatist attitude. So with the innovation that you've come up with, and at least thankfully the Lagos State government has said event centers operates at half capacity.
Yes.
So I'm sure that you will soon start having bookings and all of that. I see, and I want to ask, do you guys have this sanitizing cubicles? I see that a lot, even in my son's school. When we had a meet with the school authorities, they showed us all the safety protocols they put in place to ensure the safety and to try and curb the spread of the virus. So they have these cubicles at entry points.
We have the touchless sanitizer stands, where you just put your the sanitizer drops on your palm. So that's what we have. I think I have about 6 or so within the premises and about 3 inside the hall. But like I said, hall, we've not had any event inside the hall, but we have them within the premises, at least for the market, So, I mean, people have actually even been calling that they want to book the hall, but I've told them to please pause. Let's hear from the government. Let's be sure of what we're doing. There was a communique that came out 2 days ago that hopefully we're going to start events, but it's going to be 50% capacity of your initial hall. Yeah. So.
Okay. While during the week, when we put up your poster saying that you're going to be our guest, so we got some messages, we got some questions. So there's one person who says, given that venues have already been built or designed in some ways, is it possible to put in place some of the WHO recommended safety measures to guarantee safety and also attract clients, given that the lockdown is being relaxed and business is gradually coming back to normal?
Yeah. Well, like I said, we'll try our best. I mean, before you come into the venue, you're supposed to wear your mask. Now, we're also supposed to have a list of the guests that will come in as well. So you're supposed to, when you're setting up the table, normally you have 10 people per table. Now we have to streamline it to 5 people per table. We have to also be sure of the number of people going into the restroom at a time. There are not many people going to the restroom at the same time, so the place is not crowded, you know. So those are the measures that we as venue owners have to put in place, you know, so that we have to work with event planners. If the clients do have event planners, we have to work closely also with the clients going forward. Unlike before that, we don't have to really interact. Now there must be like a real interaction between us, venue owners, and the clients. So let us have an idea of how many people will be coming, a guest list, because, and it's actually even a good thing, because in the Western world,
they forced us now to do RSVP.
People exactly that you have to RSVP. We never do that in Nigeria, so it's actually a good thing.
Part of our culture.
Smiling, I was actually happy that finally we can actually know the number of people that will come into the venue. There was an event I attended in England years ago, and you won't believe it. I had to RSVP. It was for, I think, 100 people per head. They pay per head, so you're being paid per head. But in Nigeria, you know, it's show. Everything is all show.
Everybody comes in. Everybody comes in.
You already RSVP before even entering the hall that you're coming. You're going to attend the event. You know, you already have an idea of your table number, your seat number. You know, it was very organized. I was like, wow. So if we can imbibe that in the country, that would be amazing. Honestly, I don't know.
Yeah. So those are the upsides for us as event professionals. Those are the upsides for us. We can now properly plan. We know who is coming. We know how many guests we're expecting. So we don't run into any chaotic or any embarrassing situations.
So you don't know who I am. You know, some people will say, "Oh, don't you know who I am?" You know, some people are big like that. They tell us, you know, you don't know who we are.
Yes. We get that all the time. Yeah. I guess in our line of business, we need to learn to deal with and manage this kind of people. We meet all sorts of people. So this RSVP thing, I think it's a hit. It's going to be a hit for us. So you told us about logistics, how you ventured into logistics, even though you don't think it's a long-term thing for you, and also using your venue for this early morning market. What would you advise? Like for the rentals part of it, were you still doing work? Were people still having house parties? Because when the event centers were not opened, most people were having house parties.
Now,
so was that still on?
No, people were not having events in April. They were not having events in May. We started having
lockdown
events in June, but trickles. Events of it was so bad that when I hear calls of 10 chairs, 20 chairs, I tell them, don't pay, we'll just deliver for you. I mean, I was like, 10 chairs. What's going on here? You know, but that was what people were calling to rent. After a while, I was like, okay, it seems this is now the new normal, which I'm not comfortable with because I have assets. I have assets. I'm not happy with this 10, 20, 30 capacity numbers, you know. But yes, people were calling. And interestingly, I closed my office in the month of August. When I say closed, I closed to 10 people. But guess what? We're inundated with lots of orders this week. We'll probably have about 20 deliveries this week. And I'm wondering what is going on. So we're having to, like I said, we're bringing back 40% of our staff strength so that they can be able to handle these orders. And I'm going to have a meeting with them going forward that, because the way my business was structured is we have different departments and people working under each department. But going forward that we're going to have to use people from various departments in the interim until we get ourselves together.
Yeah, so that's multitasking.
Someone in hygiene work with someone in tent washer, like that, and the decor department, we all work together as a team. No one can tell me, oh, I'm in this department. This period, maybe in the next 2-3 months before we get ourselves together, we're all going to work together. We work together, you know.
Yes, so that's the way it seems.
So the orders and that's why I said I'm being positive. The orders are coming back. The people are calling. My phones are ringing. I mean, there was a time, like I said, that I wasn't happy the first 2 months. I'm used to my phone ringing. My phone is always ringing. You know.
Yeah, that was a bit depressing.
when you talk to people, it helps the business. My phone is always, and then it was now quiet. There are days that the phone will not ring. I will just be on my bed and I'll be like, what is going on? I actually got comfortable being in the house. I was like, no, this is not good. You can't get comfortable. As a business owner, you can't get comfortable being in the house. But when we started the common market, from an idea, and people are calling every day. I want to be a vendor, I want to be a vendor. And I'm like, wow, just like that. So God be the glory for that.
Well, that's good. So what would you advise people in your line of business, the rentals companies, the event centers, what should they be doing with their downtime? Because not everybody may have fleets of vehicles that they can rent out. What should they do with their downtime?
Well, some of my colleagues, they started selling the face mask. I even sold face masks. I forgot that. I sold face masks. I also, before they proliferated the market with the cheap ones, I mean, the prices crashed, and I have them here. So I'm going to be giving it to my clients and to our staff. You know, so people sold face masks. Some people sold sanitizer stands. Some people sold, they sold PPEs. Different people were selling different things. Some actually use, even if it's one vehicle that you have, some were using it for logistics. They were actually doing logistics. And training is another thing that some started. I actually even started, I did during the COVID period, I used that to do my training course. We're going to launch that in probably November. I did how you can actually make money running a rental business. So it was a good avenue. It was a good time for me to do that, because really, when you're caught up with what we do in the rental space, I call it a crazy space, because your brain is constantly thinking this order. Literally, you're busy, you know. So it was a good time for me to calm down, reflect over the years on how you can actually run a proper rental business. And so that's going to be launched in November by God's grace. So there were so many things that people were doing, like I said. I mean, you couldn't buy and sell. Nobody was buying anything. It's just those things, health-related things. And then if you had trucks, you use the trucks for your deliveries. I can't think of some other venue actually tried having the market too in their space. But one called and she was complaining bitterly to me that KFA, I don't know how you did it though, but it's not something, because it's not really profitable. It's not really profitable when you think about it, you know. But for me, the back end of it for me was the fact that it was creating more awareness for my brand, because most of the sellers probably did not even know about the business. You know, I heard one or two people say, I've never heard of KFA, and we've been here for over 10 years. So it was a brand visibility for me. I mean, I look beyond the money, you know, and the benefits of people coming. Because if you have minimum, let's even say 500 people come to your space, that is 500 people looking at your venue, 500 people remembering that they a market, you know, and it's a clean
500
market.
potential clients.
Exactly. And I look forward to the market because it's so clean. I mean, if I must say so myself, it's clean. It's a market that I would love to go to, because my normal market, it's dirty. But because I didn't have a choice, I would go there. But here I'll wait that, by the time they come to my venue, all I need to do is just send them my list, and then I get my things in my car. You know, it's so convenient for me, you know. So the market is really here to stay. Fortunately.
No, that's fantastic. That for me is like killing two birds with one stone, or multiple birds as it is, because when eventually we are running at full capacity, you still have the days for the early morning market, so which is a win-win for everybody, you know. And congratulations on that again, because I thought it was really cool. What I was like, oh wow, you know. So you can still do, because we are into exhibitions as well, so you can still do this and still stay within the government's guidelines and the WHO protocols. So why not? You understand? So okay, I think it's a good thing. So with refunds, we didn't touch on that. With refunds, and because there are some clients who, some people, you can either go the positive route or you can go the negative route and say, okay, so this pandemic came, okay, I want my money, I want this, forgetting that the other person has some investments as well. So how did you handle that? Because not all clients will be, you can't always have an amicable agreement with every client. There must be those trouble ones.
You know, I think it was, I would say this pandemic was actually a blessing in disguise. I don't know how to explain it. Okay, beginning of the year, we had planned that we're not going to have events in the month of April, May, June. June, we had a booking on the 6th of June because I was supposed to use the period to take down the marquee that I have and build a small marquee because I want to have I want to construct some things. So I told them in my office not to take events for those 3 months. And as God would have it, we have, so the people that have asked with the events in April, I think we had 3 events in April. What I told my team members to tell the clients is, unfortunately, we cannot do a refund, but you're going to have a credit balance with us. Anytime you want to have the event, you're free to come in to have the event, but we cannot do a refund to you. She told me of one in December that we insisted that they have canceled the wedding and they're not going to have it in Nigeria. I said, well, I'm sorry. What I can tell them to do is they should look for somebody else that wants to use the venue.
Yeah.
And then the person will now do a refund to them. They came back, I think about 2-3 weeks later at that time, that they were still going to go ahead to use the date. So, you know, people are funny, but if you stand your ground, unfortunately, we didn't have this clause of a pandemic in our contract. So we're going back to retreat that because we never can tell. Another pandemic can come. What happens?
Yeah,
because we need to be guided at all times, really, because the client can say, oh, but KFA, you're supposed to refund, blah, blah, blah. But then, as business owners, we have bills to pay as well. Once you make the payment, you're already using the money to run the organization.
Yeah.
But then there's a way you can dialogue with the customer that you understand. It's not fight. No. It's what we do. It's fun. We're people person. So it's fun. It's not fight. No. I don't even like. I don't have the energy to fight with anybody. We'll talk amicably. There's nothing. There's nothing that is coming from the sky that we cannot take. There's nothing in life. You understand? There's nothing that we want to hold on to. Mine is just saying, I'm sorry, I don't have the money to give to you. The venue is yours. Anytime you want to use it, can be 5 years time.
That makes sense.
Come and use it. The venue is not going anywhere. Come and use it. We'll explain to them like that. Interestingly, people have been calling, they want to book the venue. And I told them to hold on, let's be sure of what the government is saying before we can accept your money. I don't want to take the money and then maybe to refund. No, we'd rather not even take money. So we've not received money in our account for like 5-6 months in the venue account, because we're just waiting. We're waiting.
Yes, on the government directive.
Cancellations, yes. No cancellation, only postponement, or you have a credit with us.
Okay. So as the president of the Rentals Association, the Rentals Owners Association, did you guys have any discussions or conversations with the government as per a way forward or how to manage?
No, the only one we're discussing with them is we're all discussing with the VIO, the road safety, and the LASMA, because they always apprehend our vehicles. So that's the recent discussions we're having with them. Now, in terms of events, no, because people have really been doing events based on the number the government asks us to do, 20, 30, like that. So there's no need for us to have any engagement like that with the government. But the venue association, we're having discussions with them because, we're really directly impacted. And then they're levying us with some huge bills. We actually even had our AGM today. I couldn't attend because of this. So I had to attend online. It's actually ongoing right now. So I had attended, it started at 12. I have another AGM again after this meeting for ILEA, Oh, wow. So my hands are full.
Yes. It's better to be busy. Busy than idle. Yes.
Oh yes, I love it. It's good. It's good that you're part of the decision makers in the country. And interestingly, tourism ministry, they came to my office this morning. They levy us about 600,000 to 1.2 million every year. Now, about 7 of them came here, and I walked out, and the lady was like, "Oh my goodness, I'm so happy to meet you today, Mrs. ADELEKE, blah blah blah." And I said, "We're paying this amount of money. What are the benefits being under the tourism ministry? What are the benefits?" She couldn't tell me. What are the benefits? What are we gaining from?
What are you gaining, really?
What are we gaining? So it's just how Nigeria is now. What can we do? Because we don't have a choice. We have to pay so that they don't seal the venue. Because if they seal the venue,
so that business goes on.
So it's very tough, really, running businesses in Nigeria, but you just have to develop the thick skin. You just have to be strong. You just have to be strong. That is part of, and that is one thing with me. I just forge ahead that there are going to be challenges. Life is not a straight line. It's crooked. It's very crooked. Because if it's straight, you will not really appreciate when things happen. So when there are challenges,
exactly.
I just go through the thinking, okay, Father Lord, what do I do? There's always a solution to every problem. We may not like it. I think
so as well.
There's always a solution to every problem. There's always a solution. We may not accept it, but there's always a solution. Do you understand? Someone will say, oh, maybe because we won't have money. No, it has nothing to do with money. There's many problems that are even bigger than money. Relationships too. You know, it goes a long way. I mean, I'm happy that I met these people this morning, because if I had sat in my office, the communication they would have had with my staff would be different. But they were happy to see me. And I was happy to talk to them. You know, I was happy because they are collecting my money now. I'm working for them. I'm paying their salaries.
They have to show you some value.
Exactly. They just let me just have why are we paying? Why are we paying? Why are we paying? But you know, the country we live in now, Nigeria.
Well, I believe that in our lifetime things will change. I believe
Amen.
So. Yes, we all have to demand, you know, to see value, or demand that leaders act better or carry out their responsibilities. Absolutely. As opposed to just being there and just occupying those seats of power and it's like it's their right.
You know, they're just taking decisions and they're not carrying the stakeholders along with them. You can't just take decisions behind your laptop. And you know, we the business owners, we're going through so much. There are bills to be paid.
Yes.
You know, there are bills to be paid. So anyway, that's
okay.
Our
so for people who unfortunately their businesses will die due to this lockdown, to this pandemic, for those kind of people, what would be your advice if they want to pivot out of that line of business within the events industry or outside entirely? What would be your advice to them?
You see, I always tell people before this COVID that a strong business is a business that if you don't make sales in a year, will you still be standing? That's a very good question, because you need to ask yourself, if you're not making sales, will you still be standing? Now, for people because the truth of the matter is so many businesses would crumble, unfortunately. So many businesses will crumble. And it's a decision that you have to take. I stand every day and I say to myself, my business will stand. But then, unfortunately, there are some businesses, like you said, that would not be able to stand the test of time. What can they do? What can they pivot to? Now, why would the business crumble? I don't know your business operations, so it's hard for me to take a decision. But then if for the fact that the business goes down, what can you do? Then you need to go back to the drawing board. What other areas? Unfortunately I can't take that decision. What other areas can I tap into? Is it consultation? Is it training? You know, what can I do in the event space? Because there's just so much you can go and sell food. Unfortunately, many people started selling food. It was too much during this COVID period. Oh my goodness, Lord. Everybody was selling food. Everybody was selling food. So you tend to wonder, okay, so what next can I do? Because you said, for me as a person, I don't like to be in a saturated market. When you're in a saturated market, your chances of being a leader there becomes difficult.
Slimmer, yeah.
Understand? It becomes more difficult because you're competing with so many people. In my business, I'm very strategic with my business. You know why I say this? Because I have so many arms of business within the group. So even if one area, maybe an item is not going out today, something is going out. So you need to go find out, what do people need? You must be able to serve a need. People will come to you when you are serving a need. Don't just be, don't be where everybody are, not where everybody are. Be where everybody will be calling you. Like you started the market thing, people are calling. My phones were not ringing before. People were calling. So look for, and it takes the grace of maybe the Holy Spirit. I'm a bit spiritual. So you need to listen, because there are times that thoughts come. Let me share with you where my thoughts come from. In the morning, in the bathroom. Oh my goodness, I don't know how I was able to identify when I'm in the bathroom, those ideas come to me. If I do not implement those ideas, I will be fidgeting. I won't be myself until I implement those ideas. So I have sticky pads in every part of my house, the bathroom, the kitchen, everywhere, so that when ideas come, but most of the ideas come in the bathroom. So I write them down and I implement. So you need to determine, what can I do? What is it? Where's the need? Where's the need? Where's the need? There are so many opportunities. And like I said, I cannot tell you. There are so many opportunities. You have to determine where you can fit in and provide that service. That's all I can say.
Okay. Thank you so much, Kemi. I have a question here from Joy. Hello, Joy. Joy says, please, ma'am, what does it really take to start a rental business?
Wow. I like that question. You need yourself to start the rental business. What kind of human being are you? You know, because like I said, the rental business is a crazy business, but on a very serious note, what does it take? You really don't need an office space to start. You can start from your house. You know, you can start with the basic chairs, things that people really need for rentals. You need a chair to sit. Everybody will always sit at events. You always sit. You need a table. You can start with the round tables. You need rectangular table, what they use for the vendors. You need a canopy. For me, I import because I don't like the locally made things, and it makes it more expensive. But I love beautiful things, you know. So you can start with canopy as well, and that's your marketing. People will get to know about the products before you start expanding, and because one thing I would advise you is don't just spend your profit. Reinvest into the business so that the things that
so it will grow.
Reinvest into the business. You will determine how far you want this business to go. And that's why when the people are renting 20, 30 chairs, I'm wondering, please, no. When I have over 10,000 chairs in the warehouse, do you understand? So, and the 10,000 didn't start today. It's over the years. Reinvesting. I kept on reinvesting. And then you look at the trends as well. But the basic things that you do need are the chairs, the table, the canopies. And then with time, you can add the fans, you can add the table linens, you can add the centerpieces. We were not doing decorations as at 7-8 years ago, but we had to start because I love design. We had to start. And it brings in, interestingly, I realized during this COVID period that the design actually even brings in more money than the rentals. You won't believe it. I realized during COVID period. Because yes, I will do events of 20 people and they'll pay me 2 million. And I'm asking, how many chairs do I have to carry? How many canopies will I rent out before I can get 2 million? Do you understand? So I'm like, hey, it seems I'm going to start looking into the design part very well.
Pay more attention to that.
Oh yes.
No, yeah, it's good for a business owner. It's good for a business person to sit down just sit back from time to time and recalibrate. Look at what's doing better and focus more on that. Sometimes you may have to close up some departments or some arms of your business when you see that it's really not bringing you that kind of income that which you want. So you just look at the part where, yes, you are feeling a need, you are meeting your client's demands, and you are getting paid.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's Igbo in all of us.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree with you. We all have it. Yeah. We all have it.
Yeah, we all have
it. Listen to the voice. Listen to it. Just listen. And you said there's nothing wrong with failing. The only thing is, if you don't try, how would you know if you're going to succeed or not? I mean, so it's not left for you to just try. Just try. If it doesn't work, fine. Guess what? I'm starting the KFA pastries at the early moment next week. When my sister heard, my son heard, they looked at me. They said, what is going on here? My son, mommy, what's the profit margin? My sister is like, Kemi, what is going on with you? I think you're just bored. You know what? I'm bored. Yes, I know I'm bored. Because like I said, I love to work. I love to be busy. But we'll just start it. We'll try it out. If it doesn't work out, then I will stop. And the beauty of this is, nobody's pushing me. I'm doing it at my pace. I'm doing whatever I want to do. It is my business. It is my life. You know, so I'm just doing it at my own pace. But at least I'm trying. The only excuse I'll give myself is if I did not try it out. How would I know if I'm going to fail or not?
Exactly. I think sometimes people don't take risks because they fear failure. And like a friend of mine said to me the other day, he said that he views failure as a learning process. So he doesn't say he failed, he said he learned.
Absolutely.
So I think that's the way to go. Stay positive and just look at how you can do it better so that you do not have the outcome you had the last time. Okay, I have another question here. Say, how can an upcoming entrepreneur market the rental business?
I love that. I love that. There's so many ways you can market. You say we have all the tools at our fingertips. There's so many ways, This day of social media, oh my goodness. Your phone, I said WhatsApp. You use your status like no man's business. Keep posting on your status, bombard people. Trust me, your network is your network. That statement is so true. The people you know, because the more you bombard them with pictures, that there's no way they will ignore you now. Use your Facebook, your Instagram, your WhatsApp, your website, your email. Anyone that sends me messages, if I want to pass on any information to them, once they send me a message, I respond immediately and I say, I advertise. I just advertise. See, I'm on the webinar now, and see, I have all these messages waiting for me. This message, and I close my windows every day. I close all windows every day. When messages still coming, what do? I use my status. I post a lot. See, this is from yesterday now. I post. This is all rental products. I post a lot using my status, and people see it, people view it. So social media is, and the funny thing about social media is free, except you really want reach, that you start doing sponsored ad. There are times that I do sponsored ad as well. You don't have to even do the flyers of all the olden days again. Use your tool. Limit chatting with friends. That time you are using to chat with friends, use it to advertise your business. Use it to advertise your business. Use it to think of, go on Google, how can I market my business? The answers are there. From your Google business, you can do a lot of things. People need to, because the truth of the matter is that I always tell people that come for counseling, if people do not know about what you do, there's no way they will patronize you. I can't help you. I cannot help you. I always tell people, how do you do that? Everybody's, no, it's work. There are times I don't even sleep. You say I'm sleeping, I'm already I'm thinking. I'm constantly
thinking of what the new ideas are going to implement tomorrow.
I'm constantly thinking, what can I do? What can I do? Because I want to be the best version of myself. I keep saying, I remember when I went to EDC, they were asking me, KFA, who is your competition? In the class that day, I told them I didn't have any competition. And they all looked at me. I said, I do not have any competition. They were wondering that, what's this woman talking about? I told them, I said it 3 times. I do not have competition. I'm not being proud, but I'm in my space. I am focused in what I'm doing. I have so much I want to do for the business. So why do I have to be in competition with anybody? And that's the truth. And to the glory of the Almighty, the business, as I would say, KFA has been successful. I will just say that. KFA,
yes, it has.
And it's a journey. It's a journey where, I'm here in my office. We're still working. It's a lot of work. Don't get me wrong. If I remove I'm wearing a wig. If I remove my wig now, you see all my gray hair, So it is a lot of work, but it's a journey that I enjoy. I love my work. I enjoy my space. So that makes it more interesting. I love it when you set up for people and they call and they say, thank you. That gladdens, it even goes beyond the money that they've paid. When a customer is happy with you, they sing your name. They tell people about you. Many people they call us, I don't think they know us from anywhere. I'm sure it's people that must have told them, maybe somebody is looking for a rental company. Call KFA. Not like that. Because it's just that we don't take a survey by asking them who who asked you to call us. We don't take that survey. We just want to really attend to their orders, and that's it. So to the glory of the Almighty, you have so many avenues where you can advertise your business. It's everywhere. All the things that I've mentioned to you. Let people know what you do. They have to know what you do. Are you there?
My network just went off. I'm sure she'll be back soon.
Oh, okay.
Hi. Hi. I got kicked out.
Hi. Hi.
Okay. So we were talking about,
How somebody was asking how she can
to
advertise.
market. Yeah.
Yes. So there's, like I've said, all the things, just implement all the things that I've mentioned, and the sky, you will not even be able to handle the orders. Before, I mean, the rental space is such a beautiful space. It's such a beautiful space. But he said it wasn't done today. I've been doing this. He said, I took over KFA from my mom 15 years ago. Yeah, I think about 14, 15 years ago. When I started this business, I didn't even know what I was getting myself into. But then I've always told myself, I have to be the best in whatever I'm doing. I have to be the best. Once you have that conviction in your heart and you work towards it, I have to be the best. My sibling, I have only one sister. She's always asking, Kemi, why are you so driven? What is the problem? Why are you driven? Why are you always coming up with all these ideas? You know what I tell her? I have to share this with you. I tell her, I don't want to beg. I don't want to beg anybody for money. I want to be my own provider of money. And that's why I work so hard, so that when the tables turn, I'll be able to take care of myself. And she will just look at me and she will smile. But that's what drives me. And then another thing, I don't look at the business as my business. The day I start seeing KFA as my business, that's the day I'll just say, oh, Shebi is my business. No, I don't think of KFA as my business. I think of KFA as I am an employee of KFA. I don't see myself as the owner. When I go to sites and people, they're like, you, KFA. They look at me and I'm wondering, what is it? Like, they look at that they're expecting one big madam, and most of the time I don't even want them to even know who I am. I'd like to just be anonymous. I don't even like all this introduction or things like that. But Nigerians, they are so funny about, they want to introduce you. So when I go to site, the clients are always happy. So a client was even telling me this Saturday that, KFA, I want you to be the one to come to this. I said, until I'll come. I have other design, but she said, Kemi, I want you to, when a client tells you that, you go the extra mile for that customer. Yeah. You make the customer feel like gold. Do you understand? You make the customer feel good. Why would that customer tell other people that, use KFA? Why would other customers? You understand? There are ways that I my customers, I don't play with them.
That's the best kind of advertisement, the direct referrals.
I take care of my customers. If you're my client in the past, we will send gifts to you. We will call you after every order. We will say thank you. When I'm taking orders, I say thank you. The fact that you even thought of us, the other companies you'd have called, but you picked the phone, you called us. I say thank you. Thank you that I'm able to pay my staff salaries. Sometimes when I'm advertising, I make jokes. I say, these people come and rent from us. So before they send me to my village, people smile. All those things work. They work. We address our customers as madams and sirs. We will never call you by first name, madam. Even the young person, madam, because that madam is paying us. So that madam is important to
exactly, very important
in the company. So we treat the customers well. If you do all these things, there's no way you will not have customers. There's so many. I'm giving you all the trade secrets for my course. You should come and buy my course.
No, this is advertisement, so that we can buy the course. Yes.
But really, you treat your customers well. Once you treat your customers well, the beauty of our environment is, if you don't take care of a customer, they tend to talk. They tend to talk. If a customer has asked you for 100 chairs, please give them 100 clean chairs. Give them clean chairs. Don't give them 95. If a customer is calling and you have a challenge with your vehicle, don't tell the customer you have a challenge with the vehicle. It's not the customer's business. The customer has paid you. So it's your responsibility to go and deal with the issues. Deliver what the customer has paid for at the time you've agreed with the customer. Treat them well. There is no way you will not get, you'll even be tired of receiving the call, Seth. You'll be so tired.
Yes, I think it's key. I think it's key for people to start imbibing this kind of work ethics. Most vendors, when they're operating, they act as if they're doing the client a favor. And I don't understand.
No, that is number one rule.
Understand why.
Failure.
You understand?
No.
People just feel, oh, I'm big, and so people will come to me. I don't need to. So those kind of vendors, I run away from them.
No, we treat our, I mean, and even the front desk, the people that attend to the customers, I'm always, because they're very close, I'm always training them. You need, because and they use their WhatsApp. I try to limit voice conversation. Everything is via WhatsApp. So we pay for their credit, we pay for their data. It's documented. Once something is documented, you cannot delete it. So it's your word against the customers. On if the customer says, I want something, you know, if you're talking on the phone, it's different. You easily forget. But if it's typed out, there's no way you will forget. But give at the end of the day, give a good service. My strong hands, I'll never want to lose them. I was a bit worried during the COVID period that, hey, all these people, you know, I train a lot. You won't believe it, just before the COVID, we had trained about 60 of our staff. And most of them, they're gone now. I've lost that money. They're gone now. I trained them. So we have to go back, because if you want your business to succeed, you have to constantly train. You have to, because you want, this is what, I can't be in all the locations. It's not possible. But it's whatever training that they get, both internal and external, that they go out there to implement. And the customers
to exhibit,
to exhibit. The customers cannot come in and say your staff is drinking or smoking or fighting. Instant dismissal. Do you understand? But some people that do that, oh yeah. Or they'll say you went to eat their food. Do you understand? So there's some traits that our boys have that they cannot, you can't go and exhibit those traits out there. No, and you're not doing a customer a favor. In as much as you is even the customer that is doing you a favor, because they're the ones giving you money. Yes,
they're the one paying.
Exactly, they're king. We know they are king. They are king, because without them, you can't be in business. Anybody that feels that
business is dead.
Anybody that feels that I cannot have a customer talk to me anyhow, then you can't be in business. There's a way that I can't talk to my customer on the phone. And if a customer is shouting, I can't remember the last time a customer shouted on the phone at me, because I will not give them the opportunity to do that. I can't. And if an irate customer calls me and is shouting, I just keep quiet. It's better for me to just keep quiet, listen to what he or she is saying, and then say, I'm sorry, I'd like to leave the phone right now. Instead of you also getting angry and having to say
and exchanging
negative things. It doesn't represent your company whatsoever. Because when you're calm, you now think through it. Did I have to respond? Are there other ways? Are there no other ways I could have handled this better? You know, so there's ways you can. It's human intelligence. I mean, emotional intelligence. There are ways that you can manage people. There are people. There was a day a lady came to the reception and she was screaming. I had to go. I said, Madam, what is going on now? Immediately she saw me, she relaxed. But he said, we need to treat people well. Even me, I don't talk to my people like that. Because they said life is very interesting. It's because of circumstances that we are employers of labor. Everybody cannot be employers of labor. Some people have to work for you. But respect is reciprocal. You have to respect. Not because you're seeing them at front desk. They are human beings and they deserve respect. I called her to me and I told her that, and she apologized. She was having a bad day and now came to pour it on one of my staff. Excuse me, hello, how much are you paying? You're not paying me even 1 billion. Will not talk to me. And interestingly, there's the people that pay me millions that they respect a lot. I still don't understand that. They respect the people that pay me millions. So the respect I get from them is something else, you know. So I've learned over time how to manage customers, how to handle customers. When you know your business,
yes,
nothing will move you. Nothing moves me. When I know my business, I know nothing moves me. The challenges will come. Maybe the next knock on the door will be a problem. What's the solution? There's a solution.
Yes, you'll find it.
It may require you spending money, but there is a solution. There's always a solution. But of course, you may pretend to them, you may shout that, what, you know, all those things. There's always a solution. We have to find a solution. Do you understand? So that's the way we do all these things, you know.
Thank you so much, Kemi. Thank you.
I
don't know, are there any more questions? We're at the top of the hour now, and we're about to let Kemi go. And you know, she has a very, very busy schedule. And we just want to say again, thank you for being our guest. Thank you for spending this hour with us. We will be coming to you for advice for, we'll always talk offline. So that's not a problem. I just say thank you. I wish you more success in your business, and as a leader in the business, I know that you mentor people. I would say keep up the good work, keep mentoring people, and keep up the standard that you guys have achieved. So thank you so much, Kemi.
Thanks for having me. Thank you so
yes,
much.
Anytime. So enjoy the rest of your day, even though we get to work more during the time, but enjoy the
Thank you. I will. All right then.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
So we'll see everybody next week, same time, for more learning on the Octopus series. Bye.
Bye. Bye.